Hey everybody, this is Bobby D's Wildlife Specialist for Record Rack. Got another tip for you. This one's concerning what's the best way to get deer started on supplemental protein. You know, a lot of people will go buy a trailer load of protein feeders and go stick them out on a place where deer have never seen a protein feeder, fill them up to the top, and go back 2 months later and the deer haven't really cleaned them up yet. And they wonder, well, there must be something wrong with the feed. And not necessarily. I mean, deer have to learn to eat out of a protein feeder. I typically don't see a whole lot of issues getting deer started on Record Rack, particularly if you've got a good deer population and you know you've got the correct feeder density and you're not putting a lot of pressure on your feed slots. I usually don't see a whole lot of issues just doing that because most of the Record Rack's palatable enough, those deer are going to find it and they're going to eat it. But on places where you're trying to get a new feed site established or a new feed program altogether where they've never even seen a protein feeder, it's usually best practice to put your feed sites up. Be sure you're putting them in a good location. Don't put them in the deepest, darkest cover you got in your bedding cover, and don't put them in the middle of a wide open field either. You want to put them in those transition areas where those deer travel from bedding cover to food sources. So that's a good location is a big part of it. And then the first time you fill these things up, don't fill them all the way up to the top. If it's a new site or if it's somewhere where deer aren't conditioned to eat and feed, fill them up about a third of the way. Let those deer find it, let them eat it, get it down, and then keep that feed fresh. Once they get on it, they're going to stay on it if you're using Record Rack, because it's the consistent palatability piece of it's a big thing when it comes to performance, and that's what we formulate the feed to do, is to consistently get intake every day. So just the biggest thing I can tell you is don't fill these things lip full if it's a new site or somewhere they've never seen a feeder before, and just be sure you get them on there slow. I don't recommend mixing corn with it. I know a lot of feeds, they say, well, mix it 50-50 with corn when you first put it in the feeder to get deer to eat it. You don't have to do that with Record Rack. Just put it in there, but just put a limited amount at first till they find it. They know what those tubes are and they know how to consume it, and you're not going to have any issues. So it's fairly simple. Just you got to take baby steps as far as filling it up, especially if you got these big 2,000 or 3,000 pound feeders. You don't want to fill them up lip full where they've never seen a protein feeder, because they're going to kind of shy around it till they figure out that it's a good food source. So anyways, hope this helps. If you'd like to learn more about supplemental feeding, look us up at recordrack.com or give us a call. Thank you.